Should we mention my tweet of the week that didn't age well?
Yeah, yeah. Let's bring up.
I guess it's a good example of, because I mean the shillers have not been shilling old Hashgard too much, and it's pretty much because there was no ICO, so they have nothing to sell you. And yeah, there's a few tweets out there on crypto Twitter that don't necessarily age so well and tell you how quick even these guys who are trying to shill you stuff change their mind.
Yeah, so pretty much Danny Less has just pinned this guy to his board. This guy says, basically, probably his Bitcoin's bouncing up. Currently in a room full of 100 plus institutional investors, where the only topic of discussion is crypto. The word is out. They're coming. Nobody can stop this revolution. Rocket ship. And then about 3 weeks later, he said, institutional investors are not coming to save the crypto markets. They're coming to
Bitcoin's going back down, people.
He's marketing to both bears and bulls. Smart guy. This probably how he's got 140.
This backfires.
Yeah. This backfires. Well, I just get more followers.
Find out he's bearish. Bears are going to find out he's bullish. Shit's going to hit the fan. We're here doing just a general shit post, really, which includes a little bit of information. It's about a pretty cool underground project which came across a while ago. The project's called Hashgard. They've looked at what happens with centralized fund management, and then they've taken a look at also what a DAO, or decentralized autonomous organization, offers. And they've kind of taken the best aspects from both of those things, combined them into a package of tools that fund managers will be able to use in the future when a lot of our assets become tokenized and digitalized. Because obviously the way that centralized fund managers work, there's not a lot of, there is massive issues with transparency and trust in that existing system. But on the flip side, with the DAO, it completely eliminates the actual fund manager from the situation, which some people may like, and you have the actual ability to do that within their suite of sort of software that they're offering. But on the flip side, you can still include that fund manager in the whole process, which that fund manager generally has a lot of experience, and there's a reason people trust that person with the money. So in that sense, it's a pretty cool idea. It really allows whoever's going to be using their package of sort of software to tailor make what they want to do.
Yeah, guys, it's right there. As soon as you get to their website, project overview. It's not a white paper, but it just goes into a description about what they do and how they're addressing certain issues in the industry.
Alrighty, guys. Pretty excited to dive into what actually got us interested in this to start with, which was the team and kind of the whole advisor list and the who's who behind Hashgard. So Hashgard is actually the first project that's initiated and managed by Fenbushi Capital. Fenbushi are fucking huge. As soon as we read this and we're like, Fenbushi, huh? Surely these were some low interns and whatnot. But no, they've got some heavy hitters. So Fenbushi is China's premier blockchain VC. It's also ranked as one of the top most active in the world. It's huge. So ties to Fenbushi run pretty damn deep. Their founder, Charlie Zhu, he was a managing director of Fenbushi, it's massive. This guy's a really big deal. The co-founder, Tom Huang, he was, for a little while at least, a senior analyst at the firm, so you know that he's got some experience there. They're also Frank Yang, who's their technical director. Yang previously worked at ZTE, which in China is a huge company. It's a telecommunications equipment company, and their revenue last year was $108 billion. So all those guys right there, they're 110% all-stars.
Yeah.
Do you want to elaborate on some of the other guys, Keita?
Yeah, so up until 10 minutes ago, the other team members didn't really have LinkedIn profiles. There's no information on them whatsoever. So we just timed it just right. I just had a really quick dive, and it kind of looks like majority of these guys are all-stars really. They come from Fenbushi, and they've been working with the other team members. as well as the BK fund, but as well as TZE group. Like, I mean, I can't read Chinese, but I know this group is big. So yeah, you guys can see there. I don't know how to work LinkedIn. Yeah, then if you scroll down here, there's a really nice picture of them all posing. They're legit. Cool.
And then, yeah, if you jump past there and you look at the who's who of the advisors in the Hashgard group, so I mean, looking at the advisors is actually pretty damn important. There's a lot of projects out there, and a lot of them have some pretty impressive advisors, but it's kind of looking at whether these advisors are going to be able to give these projects a wealth of knowledge and actually help them if they're advisors in a field that's relevant to the project. And we've got some pretty freaking massive advisors through here. We've got Bo Shen, I think we mentioned that before. He's a heavy hitter. He's the founder of Fembushi Capital. So this guy knows his shit. We've also got Sunny Liu, who was the co-founder and CEO of VE Chain. Man, you guys would know VE Chain has done incredibly well. This guy definitely in the blockchain world he's an A-class advisor. And then another one of note was Xiao Bai, who's the former chief engineer of Shanghai Stock Exchange.
So a lot of these other guys, like it mentions up here, they're strategic advisors, and a lot of these people are actually in partnership with Hashgard. So I guess that quite well leads us to their partnerships. So as you go up to here, you can see scry.info is actually a blockchain designed for data storage, as you can see here. So that's pretty cool, because basically what Hashgard have said is that they're going to make their protocol interoperable, and then they're going to leverage basically this Scry blockchain for data storage, and then I think it was IRS. They are working with Cosmos, which is all about interoperable connection between all the blockchains, and so that's a really key partnership for them, because that just interconnects Hashgard to all the other chains that Cosmos is building with, or building into rather. And it's also good to note just quickly here, guys, that IrisNet is actually targeting public as well as consortium chains, so private chains.
I mean, I guess at the end of the day, most of these advisors, they're actually actively involved in the blockchain world. A lot of the companies they're advising for have actually invested in Hashgraph as well. Hashgraph have over 50, having 50 investment funds have actually invested in Hashgraph, which is huge. So you know that the advisors know what the hell they're talking about. They're actually actively involved and have an investment in Hashgraph, which means they want to see that it succeeds. They're not just there to look pretty. They're actually people who are going to be involved with developing this project. And also on top of that, with 50 investment funds having invested, it kind of creates a bit of an instant ecosystem. So these guys are probably going to be the first clients that are actually using the platform when it goes live.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I mean, as well, just briefly on their partnerships, Delphi was a prediction market blockchain, as well as MyToken is like a app for your wallets, for crypto wallets. So Hashgard software as a service system beta version released. So yeah, they've got that. So their test network comes out end of the year, and then the main network is released or comes out mid next year. So it's not like the best roadmap, but you can see they actually got something to prove like already. Yeah, so it's not the best, but it's pretty good. Basically, guys, throughout their project overview, they've outlined how their token is going to be used just to run their whole protocol. So like smart contracts, gas fees, every time you'd use move an asset, basically you'd lock up your tokens for security or collateral, in which case their whole supply, which is constant, there's no mining that's creating more, it's all just there. So essentially it's deflationary and the value is going to go up. So that's really good news.
I think that's pretty much summarizes a lot of what they've done. One, like we said again, it really hasn't been shilled. The token metrics you can't really see for yourself at the moment. There was no ICO, so we're going to definitely need some information on that before we look to purchase any once it goes onto exchanges. They're going to have another airdrop, so definitely stay tuned. I mean, it's free money. There have previously been some airdrops which have done really, really freaking well. Polymath killed it for some people. I know another one. There's been other ones which have done amazing. Done, kids.
Done.